So welcome back to the channel. This time we're going to look at a requested video, which is flying the circuits that we flew in the real flying lesson 11 on the simulator, and looking how the simulator compares to the real aircraft. Okay, so for this I tried quite a few setups, and you might have seen in video number 7, I'll put a link in the description, I did a comparison between the two Tomahawks, the Alabeo Tomahawk and the Just Flight Tomahawk, and I preferred in that video slightly the Alabeo because of the way that the inside of the cockpit was the graphics from the inside of the cockpit. Actually, we're going to use a Just Flight Piper Tomahawk because, in my opinion, it flies better in X-plane. It flies more realistically, particularly on the takeoff, and we're going to do a lot of takeoffs in the circuits. And also between the different simulators. So I tried Prepared, I tried X-plane 11 and X-plane 12. In Prepared, the Hawarden scenery is just really poor. Between X-plane 11, X-plane 12 and FS 2020, I personally think the scenery in X-plane is better. Between the two, because X-plane 12 doesn't link up with Pilot 280C as yet, we'll be flying today these circuits in X-plane 11. Okay, yeah, we're cleared for takeoff runway 04. We want to put the petrol pump, landing light, anti-collision light and pitot on. I set these up on the Alpha yoke. One of the big changes is the rudder pedals really don't react anything like on the sim they do in the real aircraft. They're much stiffer, much more reactive. Now you need right rudder pedal going down the runway to counteract the torque of the propeller. Full power, 60 knots, gentle pressure back on the yoke. Allow the aircraft to lift off and settle into a 70 knot climb. So the climb is very similar to on the real aircraft. As we get to 500 feet, we want to make a right hand ascending turn, keeping 70 knots. So the scenery is pretty good. You can see on the left hand side, if you look out the window, you can see the football ground in X-plane 11. Pushing forward now really solidly on the yoke to settle, level out at 1000 feet. Allow the speed to increase and then throttle back to 2300. And then a right hand level turn onto the downwind leg. What I found with the simulator is that it does not respond as well. It's much harder to push forward, much harder to get into a stable flight, and I think really quite a lot harder to trim for level flight in the simulator. So on the downwind leg, BUMFREDA, so brakes, undercarriage, mixture, then fuel pump on, landing lights on. We want to turn the carb heat on and then switch fuel tanks. Then the radios, engine T's and P's, direction looks fine, airframe aircraft is fine. We're stable, 2300 revs, stable at 1000 feet. And at Hawarden, we just want to fly down. There's a village on the left hand side at the end of the base leg that gives you a trigger as to where you want to make the right hand turn. So throttle back to 1800, start a right hand gentle descending turn, hold back until the speed bleeds off to 80 knots, and as we come round onto the base leg, then we can take the first stage of flaps. Again, settle into 80 knots. And the aircraft performs very similar in the sim to in real life. When we take a right hand turn just towards the runway, as we level up, we can call ATC, confirm on final and second stage of flaps. So the scenery is really pretty good at Hawarden in X-Plane 11. The aircraft is stable in the sim. As we come down towards the runway, we want then just to be checking the particular spot on the windscreen lined up with the runway, checking the speed, runway, speed, runway, speed, runway. Coming down at a good height. We cross over the initial threshold, and at Hawarden, again, this is pretty well represented in the scenery. This first area is not part of the threshold, the concrete. As we cross over this onto the black tarmac, starts to reduce the power. The aircraft settle down, so we want to hold the aircraft up, literally float above the runway. Once we can see the texture, power off, and touch down, and then carb heat off, flat 0, 1, 2, 3 power, and then we can lift off again. The aircraft doesn't kick as much to the left as it does in real life. So that's all I've got for you in this video. If you liked it, please like it, leave any comments. I love to hear from you, and I always respond. And if you want to be notified when videos are uploaded, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.